Hello everyone, and welcome back for another game of Brass. I did already in the past talk a lot about high-level crates, how to make them work, and I refer you to my games in my series, so game 11, 12, and 15, where I already showcased that. And today, as you can guess from the title, it's once more me executing the high-level crate strategy. It's here on a game played on the parlor, which means it's played asynchronously and not live. So this means you will only see screenshots of certain points in the game and not necessarily all the live moves as they were played, but I'll guide you through. I also want to put a new guide on BoardGameGeek on how to play the high-level crates and kind of highlight the key elements of the build. And yeah, with that said, let's get started here. We're in turn 1 of the canal era. I'm lost in player order. We have blue developing away 1 coal mine and 1 iron mine. We have the 2 other players, red and purple, taking a loan. And then it's my turn to play. I look a bit at the map here and look a bit what's possible, what are my cards. And when you play high-level crate, in my approach, in my build, what I would like to have at the start of the game is I would like to have ideally 2 beer cards, or locations where I can build beers. So like Nuneaton, which is ideal because there's only 1 card of Nuneaton, so you're pretty much guaranteed to build your beer there, unless someone scouts and builds there, but that's rather rare. And then we have the Burton-on-Trent cards, which of course is not guaranteed to go to us because someone else could build a beer there first. But this is already something I look for. I want ideally 2, if not 3 beer cards. Next is I'd like to have 1 or 2 coal cards or coal locations. So here I have 1 coal card, I have a Coventry location. My idea is that once people build towards Coventry to build an iron mine, you don't need to build there, you can just immediately build a coal mine and offset some loans with a level 2 coal mine, for example. So those are 2 cards that I like as well. And then, of course, we need, for the crates themselves, we need to have some cards close to the merchants. In my case here, I have Leek and I have an industry card, so I can build in Leek and here in Stoke-on-Trent, probably my high-level crates connected to the market and use the merchant pair here. A Birmingham card would also maybe have been useful or so. But for me, this is kind of like, oh, check. We have the coal, we have the beer, we have the crate cards. This seems to be playable to me. Mostly probably based around the Warrington and the merchant beer there, and then maybe putting a coal mine in Coventry or Dudley or so typically. But let's see how it plays out. I start by throwing away my iron card. I'm not going to play iron. I don't need iron to build. I mean, iron is a very strong industry, don't get me wrong. It gives a lot of points, but in this strategy, you're going to get most of your points from the crates and the beer. You don't need to iron. You don't have time and actions for going into iron. So I throw away my iron card and I develop away my 2 beers. Now, when I go high-level crates, I like to not immediately commit to high-level crates, not immediately start developing all the crates. It gives a bit too early away your strategy, and it's a strategy that's slightly too fickle and too easily to disrupt to immediately commit to it. So I like to kind of first do some standard moves that easily could be like brick, keep people guessing, and then only halfway through Canal, when I feel like, yes, I have the right cards, the right setup, then I commit to it. So I start here by just developing away some beer, keeping my options open. We now go to the second turn of Canal, and we see here that blue connected up north. That's actually good news for me because it means that I won't need to connect myself, and I will be able to rely on some of the connections here. That's often important. For example, this industry here requires coal and requires connection to the market, so that's already a good start. We have orange building an iron mine in the south. Seems to be fairly standard, probably brick or brick-like openings. Normally in the brick you don't develop away the level 1 iron, but blue decided to do so, but this is still probably going to be brick or a variation of it. We see that purple is going for cotton, so he's probably going to play here on the left side of the board, maybe connect to this merchant beer, or more likely build in Worcester, build in Birmingham, and then sell with these 2 merchant beer, and maybe get a 3rd merchant beer from another player, or build some beer himself, to be seen. Then it's my turn here. I'm lost, and I throw away 2 cards that I think I won't need. Yeah, 1 card that I got was a stone card, which I like a lot as well because it's a beer card. Plus, maybe it could also be used to build a crate here in the north or coal mine. So at the moment, I'm happy with my cards, and I still feel confident in my strategy. So I decide to develop twice. I develop here the level 1 crate and the coal 1. And I immediately this time I already even develop away the level 2 crates. This gives a bit away my strategy. I prefer to not do this, but I felt like here didn't have other things to do. Might as well have done it. Maybe in hindsight I should have been a bit more cautious, but yeah, that's what I decided to do. We continue here in turn 3. We have orange overbuilding his level 1 iron with level 2. Seems to be quite standard. Purple keeps on developing and did already develop his 5 lowest cottons away and 1 coal. Seems to be very standard high level cotton play. What's a bit weird though is that purple took a second loan here. So purple hasn't, normally you would try to offset your loans with a coal mine. But I guess because his first action was develop, he couldn't build a canal and build a coal mine, and ideally you wait for someone else to build the links for you. So okay, I guess that's why he did so. From my side here, I'm absolutely broke. I'm at 1 coin, so I need to take a loan as a first action no matter what. And then I build towards stone. My idea is that I can build in stone a coal mine to offset my loans, and I'll play before purple, so purple won't have the option to do that. Even in the case that blue would play here a coal mine, which is possible if he has the card, it's still not an entirely wasted link. I can still build a beer here and then it's okay link points. Would not be ideal, but that's still kind of an option. We have blue taking a loan and developing away some beer, so it seems to be rather standard brick play. And then it's back to me here in turn 4. There's a whole bunch of signs here, but my plan is to take an additional loan, so to go to -6, and then build a coal mine in stone. This kind of turns me back into positive income. That's very efficient loan and offsetting on the same turn. And then it's in Stoke-on-Trent and League, we'll build the level 5 crates. There would have also maybe been the option to do it the other way around, build in stone the level 5 crates together with Stoke-on-Trent and then build a coal mine in League. I just felt it was slightly better to do it this way. I don't exactly remember why. Maybe it was due to some cards that were already played. Like for example, there was still someone else with the League card. There's 2 League cards. I have one. I don't want to build a link here and help out others. So yeah, I take a loan and build the level 2 coal mine. We then go to the turn 5 of Canal, and we have orange building extra, or red here building extra iron. So it looks good. Develops away the level 1 beers. We have purple finally laying down his high level cotton. Now purple has a little issue here, is that he would like to build a coal mine to offset his -6 income. Unfortunately, when he was playing, there was only 2 free slots in the marketplace. So if he would have put down his coal, it wouldn't have flipped. So he decides to wait a little longer here. Now there's again 3 spots because red build an iron mine. That's a bit annoying because he's bleeding a lot of cash. Blue takes my Burton-on-Trent card. Now keep in mind I had 2 beer cards at the beginning. I had the Burton-on-Trent and the Nuneaton. You need a lot of beer for this strategy to work, for high level crates to work. You need 4 beer, and this has got to be your #1 priority during all of Canal. Every turn you need to think about this. You need to be a bit paranoid about this. For me, it means that the Burton-on-Trent card won't be able to be used for beer, but it could still turn out to be useful for coal, or maybe even for the high-level crates. I could still imagine building a canal from stone to Burton-on-Trent and then building the high-level crates there. So I'm not going to throw this card away immediately. Thankfully, I drew the Coalbrookdale card, so I can now build in Coalbrookdale. I have all the money I need. I need to develop further to get to my high-level crates, and that's what I do. And then I built in Coalbrookdale to secure the Bria's plot before it goes away. Very important. Here it's so it's the end of turn 5. I mean, I've played my turn 5. At the stage you're not drawing new cards anymore. You see I'm down to 6. It's important to really plan all your moves and just like map it out. Does it work? Does it not work? Do you need to adapt or not? So I start to write the Coventry card I'll use to sell, the League card I'll use to build a level 5, the Burton-on-Trent I'll use to build a link, this one I'll use to build a level 5 crate, a beer, and a loan. So I'm kind of mapping it out. It might change a bit based on what other players do, but I feel like quite confident in my execution here. We continue here to turn 6 of the Canal Age, and there's a lot of action happening here, and I want to take a small pause here to highlight it. We have 2 players building iron, so we have blue building iron and red building iron. I am not building any iron at all, and same with purple. When 2 players only go iron, it leads to often overbuilding situations or overbuilding options, and this is especially true this game because blue developed away the level 1 iron, and blue did, I think, also develop away the level 3 iron. Yes, so there's not a lot of iron that's getting built. The price of iron was quite high, and in the end, blue ends up overbuilding orange here in Birmingham. This is, of course, very good for us to have the 2 other players overbuild each other and basically weaken each other and keep each other in check. Now, iron is a very strong strategy, but this is kind of offset by this one weakness. Yes, so that's really cool. From my side, I have 37 money. That's probably enough. And I proceed by building my level 5 crate here and building in Nuneaton. I mentioned before that I wanted to build in League the level 5 crate, and that's probably still what I want to do, but we gotta be paranoid about the beer, right? There's 2 beer from myself, there's 2 merchant beer, that should be enough. We need 4 beer, but at any stage, someone could build here in Stoke-on-Trent and steal my beer, build a crate. Probably most worried about Orange doing that, especially if he had, I mean, he will probably eventually develop the level 1 crate and the level 1 coal. So if he then has a Stoke-on-Trent card, he could build there and steal. It's probably not the best move for him. It's often just better to use the crates to flip your own beer, but he could try to screw me over and these kind of things. So we have to be very careful about that. Now, the good news is there's 2 merchant beer here, there's 2 beer here for me, and I could also theoretically, if need be, build a canal to Birmingham to access the 5th beer here. So I feel quite confident that I'll be able to get all the beer that I need. We continue here. Red is building more iron. When the price is so high, it's so tempting because you get lots of points for building those and lots of cash back. And you see he also took quite some loans and has a lot of money. But it leaves you open to overbuilding. The others also build coal here. I think all of that is fine. Purple here, the strategy that Purple is following, he ends up developing beer and building a beer himself. It's very comparable to my strategy. So he developed the 5 lowest cotton away. I developed the 5 lowest crates away. He's supplementing the high-level cotton with some beer. I'm doing the same. But if you compare the strategies 1-to-1, the cotton strategy has the advantage that you don't need as much beer. At this moment, he only needs 2 beer, and he could take them from the merchant setup. So that's quite comfortable as Purple if you're going for a mix of cotton and beer. The strength from my side is kind of paradoxical because I said you need to be paranoid about the beer, but to some extent the fact that you need 4 beer is an advantage. It's an advantage because you get to flip your own beer, plus you get the merchant bonuses. So if you manage to execute on it, I'm basically getting 10 coins back compared to Purple. On top of that, it's the level 5 crate is slightly cheaper. It gets 1 less point, but it gives a bit more link values. Let's say roughly evens out. So in strictly speaking Canal, if you manage to execute on the high level crates, it is very comparable to the cotton, if not slightly stronger. In Rail, it's a bit different. In Rail, you need less beer as a high-level crate player because this one doesn't require beer. So it's a bit more easier and flexible on the beer side. On the other hand side, the high-level cotton just gives a lot of points. The level 4 gives 12 points. You have nothing comparable. So the cotton has a bit more power in Rail. And you have in Rail maybe a bit more flexibility or ease on the beer. That being said, other players can more easily undercut you by using up merchant beer. So you're more vulnerable. So that's a bit a comparison of these 2 strategies that I think are very comparable. And I would say almost of equal strength. Depends a bit on the merchant setup and how it plays out. We're here now in turn 7 of Canal. This is very important. As I'm lost in player order, I can guarantee to be first in the next age. I could, for example, take a loan in a Canal, which is anyway what I want to do. And at this stage, I'm guaranteed my 4 beer. I have the 2 from the merchant, I have the 2 myself. But even if, just want to highlight this once more, even if one of these had been stolen or whatever, I could build a Canal to Birmingham and build there my level 5 crate. It is important to build 2 level 5 crates and sell them. If you only do 1, it is too weak. Selling is always a bit of a wasted action. It doesn't give you points. So you want to sell as many industries simultaneously. And selling just for 1 industry is rarely a good idea. On top of that, you invest in so much developments, you now kind of need to profit from your investment. So you want to build 2 high-level crates and sell them. It's not acceptable to just build 1. And in that sense, it is a bit trickier strategy to execute this, which is why you don't often see players do it. Okay, last turn here of Rail, build a Canal, take a loan, and then build a level 5 crate and sell with all the benefits. And here we go to turn 1 of Rail. Let's take a small pause here and look a bit at the point at the score. I have 34 cash, 6 income, that's okay. I have 65 points. It's not super high. I think in a more peaceful game, brick players would typically have 70, if not 75. Cotton players can also reach 70, 75 points. So 65 doesn't feel particularly strong, but it's also not bad. And I have some cash and income to compensate. I have access to beer, I have access to coal, and I have my high level crates, so I'm reasonably well set up. Orange only has 53 points. These 2 unflipped beers, they will flip. So you should already count them in. So it's 53 points. It's not so high. Now you have to keep in mind that his level 2 iron got overbuilt in Birmingham, so that would have netted him 10 extra points, and he has a lot of extra cash. So imagine Red having 100 cash and 63 points. I would say in points he would have been almost even with me, but his income would have been stronger. On top of that, he has now the option to quad rail. So if he had not been overbuilt, he would have for sure been a bit ahead of me. Now they got overbuilt. He's slightly behind, but a lot can happen here in Rail. I would not count him out. We have then Purple, who has 57 points, and that's definitely he's definitely, let's say, 5 points behind me or so. I think there were one or two, yeah, maybe not ideally, optimally executed steps in Canal, or a bit of unlucky. He was bleeding a lot of cash for a while. And I don't think this is the best merchant setup for Cotton, to be honest. On top of that, he didn't get an extra level 2 beer out. If he had gotten an extra beer out with the Derby card, for example, maybe he was unlucky with the card draw, I don't really know. I think he would have had a very comparable score to me. He's first in rail and decides to double loan. I must say I'm a bit puzzled by this decision. I would have 100% built 2 rails because the coal price is very low. He has the money for that. He like build a rail, for example, from Gloucester to Worcester, and then from Worcester to Kidderminster to secure the farm brewery. I think that would have been very natural. Or maybe a double rail using the beer and combined with some loan. So Oxford to Birmingham and then Birmingham to Walsall. These are fairly valuable links. I don't know, I'm a bit puzzled by the double loan. With the price of coal so low, it just build rails. You got to expand your network to gain access to valuable locations. For example, here to gain access to these here would have been very valuable for purple. And you also want to build network because the coal price is low and these are good points. So I'm a bit surprised here by purple's decision. But yeah, I think he's a little bit behind, but not hugely so. And level 4 Cotton should never be underestimated. It's very, very strong. Then on blue side, 62 points, a good amount of cash and income. I'd say it's very close to my score, if not almost identical. He will be able to double rail on top of that here with his beer. So I'd say in a good spot. The weakness for blue is that what he's going to do in rail, he has already built all his iron. So not too many options there. Also on the industry side, not too many options. Maybe a level 2 crate combined with a level 1 pottery. And so he will be mostly building links. And then if he's a bit lucky with the beer cards, he can maybe, but there's not many beer spots left. There's stone left and there's derby left, and then the farm brewery. So ideally he tries to secure that to also build more links or maybe build into high level industries and then use the farm brewery to flip that. But his kind of potential to generate points is a bit lower compared to, let's say, purple or me, who have access to high level industries. So orange here, quad rails using his own beer. Makes sense. It's a bit unfortunate here. He's forced to build from Oxford to Redditch and then from Redditch to Birmingham. These are not the 2 best links, but he has to because he was overbuilt in Birmingham and doesn't have access to Birmingham. These are not so valuable links, and on top of that, he already had access to Redditch, and on top of that, there's nothing to build in Redditch, so it feels a bit shame. He would have preferred building here. Blue builds then in the north 3 links. They're fairly valuable, and they're, yeah, so my level 5 crates are just giving points to blue at this stage, which is often happening with crates, is that the extra link points or the reduced link points from certain buildings, they do not always help you. From my side, I'm looking at 2 options. Both here in the north, 2 links. There are 2 valuable links, 7 points typically, and this one typically 8, if not 9 points. But in this game, maybe only 7 points, but still 2 very valuable links. And it gains me access to Derby, where nothing was built yet, so there's a lot of options. I like that. Another option would be to build from Nuneaton to Coventry, and then Coventry to Birmingham. Point-wise, maybe 2-3 points weaker, but it gains me access to Birmingham, and I want to build high-level crates. I want to have access to these kind of locations. So in that regard, there's a lot of spots. So maybe from a network point of view, also very interesting. I decided to go here with the links up north. I'm still hoping to maybe draw a beer card and then play a beer in stone or in derby. In turn 2 of rail, we see purple finally building his first link from Birmingham to Worcester and then building a coal mine up north. Okay, yeah, makes sense, although I think he should already on turn 1 have built 2 links. From my side, I built 1 link here and then build a coal mine here. It is quite interesting in early rail to bring up a bit your income. With coal, you can easily do that up to 10 or so. As you see on the income track here on the left, above 10, you need more steps to increase your income. It's often not too valuable to focus on it. Sometimes you can still build some coal mines for the cash or for the points, but income-wise, it rarely makes a big difference. So for me, good start to the rail. I'm not unhappy. And we continue here to turn 3. Let me just see my notes here. Yes, I was thinking of building some rails up north. I was thinking of maybe building a rail in the south. And then I noticed, okay, I have the Derby card. I don't have a lot of money. The Derby card, I could build a beer. And ideally, I would be able to double rail or quad rail of it, these kind of things. But in this situation, I do something a bit special. Because the coal price is so low, I'm able to build both the beer and a single rail, not a double rail. Now, in this situation, I'm basically gifting 2 beer to another player. In this situation, it's purple. Now, if you look at the score, and it's a good moment to pause, right? We see that blue has 90 points, good income, good cash. So actually, he was able to get quite some valuable links here in the north. Then he secured a farm brewery, which will be useful later. I say like this is quite good for blue. I only have 84 points, but once this flips, I'll be slightly ahead of blue, but with less income. So I think at the moment, point-wise, blue and I are about equal. I think I have a bit more potential with the high-level industries, but blue is not far behind. Orange has not played yet this turn, but also has 87 points. Was able to get here another gear card out in stone, and double rail of it. So orange is really not behind. However, purple is behind. I think between the not perfect canal and then the slightly strange start to rail, he only has 62 points. Of course, he has a lot of cash, and by me giving him 2 beers, he will be able to quad rail and catch up and be maybe the low 80s. I think even after the quad rail, he might be slightly behind, but not by a lot. I decided to do this if the next player would not have been purple, but would have been orange or blue. I don't think I would have done that. It's too much of a gift here to give 2 beer away. But that's here in the parlor, it's very easy to see who's behind him and ahead. But even if you play in real game, live or on tabletop simulator, you should kind of count a bit in your head who's winning, who's not winning, and it's okay to gift beer to the people that are behind because they're anyway not a threat to you. So purple plays and builds a link here and here. If you see here, purple has to build these 2 links to get access to the beer. He doesn't have access otherwise below on the bottom side of the map to the beer. So he builds a link here and here, which are not the best links, but still okay links. On top of that, the coal price is not so high. And then he builds a link here, which is a link I would have built on turn 1 to get access to the farm brewery and Kidderminster. And then he builds to Colebrookdale, which I think is also the right choice because then later on he will be able to connect to the Shrewsbury market, which has a 4-point bonus beer. So yeah, we continue here in turn 4 of the rail. Orange starts to build a lot of links around Birmingham. I'm thinking he's probably planning to build the level 2 crates there. Level 2 crates are not the strongest building, but at a certain point in rail, you don't have many good links to build anymore, and then this built here in the middle of Birmingham is kind of the right call. He also built a pottery here in Stafford, also a good move. From my side here, the coal price and the iron price is quite high. We ran out of iron, as you can see, so orange fully built, blue fully built, and none of us can actually build. I mean, we need to develop to get into iron. This is the right moment to build the level 7 crate. The level 7 crate does not cost iron or coal, and I think it's more interesting. I used to try to build this already in Canal, but I think it's more interesting to keep it for rail. 20 coins is very cheap in rail. You're getting something like 10 income or 12. I mean, it was a 12 income. So half of the cost is already just paid by your turn income, and then you only need to pay 10 cash, which is really not a lot. It's only worth 7 points, which is not game winning, but I'd say it's the fair price for it. So this is the moment to take a loan and build this. We continue here, and we have purple doing a big move here, developing away the level 1 and the level 2 iron, and overbuilding blue. Now, these are point-wise probably good moves for purple. So develop is 1 action, then building the level 3 is 1 action, building the level 4 is 1 action. So for 3 actions, you're getting 16 points. Probably just building the buildings will repay for its cost, so let's say that's a wash. So you're scoring slightly more than 5 points per turn, which is good. However, the biggest benefit is that you get to overbuild other competitors. Why I'm not convinced it's a good move for purple is that he's overbuilding blue, he's overbuilding orange, we'll see later on. So he's weakening these 2 players. However, I'm probably in the lead by 1 or 2 points, or really not. Yeah, maybe it's even between orange and blue at the moment. Purple is not doing anything about me, and building up to the high level cotton might have been stronger. Maybe a bit more riskier, maybe a bit harder to execute, but if he's competing with me, he should not do this. He should instead build the high level cotton, which are very valuable, and he can build here the level 3 and 3 of the level 4s, and then sell with a merchant beer all his cottons, and then also get the plus 4 points from here. So I think that's, if he wanted to compete with me, that's how he should have done it. Instead, he decides to go there. In absolute, maybe not a bad move, but yeah. So we continue here from my side. Purple overbuilds blue here in the north. For me, I finally draw a beer card. That's very reassuring. Sometimes some players will take away my merchant beer, and I cannot rely on the merchant beer. In this situation, I can always overbuild one of my own beers, and that way I'm kind of safe on the beer front. I decide to build a coal mine here in Coventry, and then build the level level 7 crate. That's a special crate that doesn't give link points, so it's very nice to put it in the opponent's network. However, from having played many games with high-level crates, I would not focus too much on it. It's sometimes you have the right card and it works, like here. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, so be it. Don't overly focus or delay your actions because of that. We're now in turn 6 of rail, so we're getting closer and closer towards the end. What we see here is that red has not built in Birmingham in turn 5, and in turn 6 red built twice in Birmingham. If nothing happens here from my side, orange will be able to, or red, sorry, will be able to sell his 3 industries using purely merchant beer. So I'm thinking of 2 options, and I'm showing them here to you. My first option was I'm going to build here a level 8 crate and sell immediately. I only need 2 merchant beer, one for the level 8 crate, one for the level 6 crate here, and then the level 7 crate does not require any beer. So I'm selling 3 industries, which is quite good, and I'm not even using my beer card for that. I can just purely rely on merchant beer. I don't have to do that. It would be even better if I'm able to build the 4th industry and then sell everything, including the 4th industry, with merchant beer, or eventually, optionally, with my own beer card. I was thinking maybe of even building like the level 1 pottery, and building then with the let's say develop away the level 2 pottery and the level 3 beer, build then the level 3 pottery. That was one idea I had at the point. Anyway, so that's the option 1. Immediately build and sell, and then I'm secure in selling because I've sold already, so I don't need to think about beer anymore. The weakness of this approach is that I have still 4 actions to do afterwards, and I don't really have many good options. I'm not going to go into irons, it's too late for that, and so I'll just build a couple of rails, maybe 2-3 coal mines in, and that's kind of it. Maybe 4 points per action, not more. The alternative approach that I'm showing you now, yes, exactly here, and which I ended up choosing in the end, is to build a level 1 pottery first in Coventry, together with a loan. Now, if you see in the turn order, I will be ahead of blue and ahead of orange, so they cannot steal my merchant beer, and these 2 crates here, they'll be mine next turn. I think the slightly stronger. You want to sell as many industries as possible when you sell. In canal 2 or 3, in rail 3, 4. I mean, the more the better. It makes your sell action more efficient. And in this situation, I have 3 unflipped industries. I will build next turn and I have the money for it. I can build in Coventry, a level 8 crate, and then sell 4 industries purely using merchant beer. It's not even necessary for me to use my own beer card here. And I think this is stronger. That's what I end up deciding. You could say maybe if purple now sells and uses up this merchant beer, it would screw me up or something like that. Sure, yeah, it would not be optimal at all for purple to do that, but purple could have disrupted me that way. Then again, I have a beer card as a safety, so I think that's okay. I'm counting up the score as well to see a bit who's ahead, who's not ahead. I count myself at 148 points, just mapping out all the moves I still want to do. So building a level 8 crate, selling, and then probably build 2 links, or a link and a coal mine, something like that. I mean, I definitely have a coal card. I'm counting for orange 144 points on condition he doesn't get overbuilt, so very close to me, and doing well. For purple, I count 140 points. I'm assuming he will build his iron mine, I think, in Coalbrookdale. That's the assumption I made, and kind of sell then a bit later with the beer. And blue I count as being behind at only 135 points. But it depends a bit on what cards they have, and he still has a beer card, so like he has still a farm brew. If he has a beer card, he's probably still going to be able to achieve something. So it seems like a fairly close game, but I think I'm ahead. We continue here in turn 7 of rail, and it turns out that purple decides to, or has the card to overbuild red here in Dudley. So immediately the calculation I did kind of falls apart. This really puts red behind. I was thinking red was probably going to end up second, but now with losing 7 points here, he might just end up lost. Purple continues here and builds also 1 industry. And for me here, the purple player, he only has 2 high-level industries, and we're almost at the end of rail. It would have been stronger if he was already at 3 or maybe 4, and then he could sell using his merchant, his farm brewery plus the merchant beer in Shrewsbury plus maybe the one in Gloucester. That would have been, I think, the optimal scenario for purple. But because of his slightly strange start he did at rail, I think he doesn't have the links at the right places. I mean, he needs to build 1 more link here, needs to build 1 more link here. He's already short some industries. So in the end, he doesn't make full use of the power of cotton, the level 4 cottons. They're worth 12 points, right? This is just crazy strong. You have to think about it. You can just like loan, build these level 4, and you're scoring 6 points per action on average. Yeah, so this is, and there's pretty much no one else that can contest you because it's too hard to invest into cotton in rail. So that's why how I think cotton should have been played in this situation. Anyway, by kind of overbuilding blue and overbuilding red, He has probably secured his second place. He will end up behind me, but as we were looking at the score before, yeah, 140 points, but now he overbuilt orange. I think he's ahead of both orange and blue. Um, Okay, and then from my side, so I execute on this. I build in Coventry the level 8 crate and then sell everything. Now, I think in all the games I've uploaded of high level crates, I think I never managed to build the very last one. If you can, it's great. I mean, it's 11 points, but somehow with this build, it feels somehow like you're not able to build the last one. I also feel the last one is a bit weak. I mean, it costs a lot of money to iron, 20 coins. It gives only 11 points. For comparison, the pottery gives 10 points, so only 1 point less. It's available as a level 1 that you can build in rail, and it costs less money. I don't know, I find this a bit odd that the level 8 crate is not stronger. So in all the games I played high level crates, in 4 players, I only managed to build one of these and never built a second one. And this means so the level 8 crate plus the level 7 crate plus the level 6 crate, that's what I typically end up building. That's 3 of them, and they only require 2 beer. And yeah, you can use that, for example, the merchant beer, or if you have a farm brewery, you can use the farm brewery, or you can overbuild one of your own beers. It feels like fairly easy to get all the necessary beer to sell. So in that sense, it is weaker than high level cotton in rail. Like, it has less power. It doesn't have these 12 points uncontested. I mean, if you're one player going high level cotton, this uncontested 12-point building, it is a bit more contested by, for example, people building level 2 crates or maybe level 5 crates or so. It's a bit weaker point-wise, but you only require 2 beer, and it's a bit cheaper as well. Good, so that's kind of it here for my last turn of rail. We proceed here, everyone basically build and sell. I think blue still managed to get a pottery out and then sell using the farm brewery. Purple builds here in the farm brewery and sells. Unfortunately, it doesn't have enough to build an extra cotton, and it basically does not make use of this bonus, which is very much a shame. I mean, this is for 3 points for the high level cotton player. But I think he was just a little bit too busy, you know. If you're overbuilding iron and building then some links, and then you just run out of actions to do that. And we have a red here overbuilding in stone, I think, or no, in Stafford, I think his beer, and then selling everything. And yeah, from my side, I end up building 2 extra links. So you see here, just before the last turn, I had built 4 links. This is just a bit to get some points, to spread a bit my network, to gain access. I mean, I gained access to Derby, which I didn't have access before. I gained access to Coventry, which was also 3 spots that were not built at all. So at the start of rail, you want to spread your network to gain access and grab some valuable links. Then towards mid rail, you want to build all those high-level industries, and then end of rail, you want to make sure you sell with the beer, that you can have the beer secured. And this ends the game here on the last turn of rail. As you can see, 148 points. This time I'm like solid 10-15 points ahead of the others. So kind of a clean victory, but of course a somewhat chaotic game with reduced points due to the many overbuilds that happened. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I've shown once more that this is a strategy that can work. It's I invite you to try it out. It's not as easy as it looks. I'm often like quite nervous. Will I get the beer? Will I get the spots? Compared to cotton, if you go high level cotton and you're alone, there's this kind of peace of mind where people are not stealing your beer. You're pretty much guaranteed your merchant beer. Here with the high level crates, you're always at risk that people undercut you with some low level crates, and yeah, but it has also its pros. It is a bit more flexible, it's a bit cheaper. Sometimes you're able to benefit from the extra rail points. And as I said, I think the key idea is that in Canal, you're consuming more beers than usual. You're consuming 4 beers, but if you manage to execute on that, it's actually an advantage. And then in rail, you're consuming less beer, so you're not much at risk and not too much stress regarding that. That's it. I'll post also a more detailed written guide on Board Game Geek. I invite you to check it out. And as usual, see you guys on the parlor. See you guys on Tabletop Simulator. Ciao.